vida loca. That means my crazy life in Spanish. Mi vida loca. So Eve got this awesome cup. Totally free. She got many things totally free. But anyway, that's one thing. I was looking around trying to find something else, but I'm putting this by the window because I'm trying to keep signal on the phone so I don't lose signal. Last night I did a live stream, and oh my gosh, it was horrible. Freaking brownout. Yeah, that's what killed it. We had a brownout. I was on Wi-Fi, but yeah. Also, while I got this live stream going, and for people that are just watching us for the first time, I'm here in the Philippines. It's a wonderful place, but it's a lot more wonderful if you're not living off about $300 a month. If you could live off of $500 a month, oh man, you'd be closer to being a king over here, you know, or queen. But anyway, so I'm gonna put this over by the window to keep the signal going. And man, I'm looking rough today. I'm going to be getting ready because I've got to go to immigration. Da, 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 da. Because my visa needs renewing. So here I'm going to prepare for that. I'm going to talk to people too. So nobody's in here yet. It's been 2 minutes. Anyway. Red's not my color today. I wonder how hot it is outside. Will it be cold on the bus, you know? Think it's pretty cold? Get back some more ride. So I guess I need to bring a jacket. Yeah, on these buses over here in the Philippines, they like to freeze you. So I'll bring a jacket with me. Oh, hold you put this little thing in. Oh, I see it. I think this little small stuff like this. You know, I used to do computer repair work.
That's small things.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I always hated the small. Driving me crazy.
Thanks for trying.
What's up, Ritz? How you doing? I'm getting ready to go to immigration today. 2 months in the Philippines. Yeah, can you see how hot it is outside? Do you know how to speak Tagalog? I don't know a lot of Tagalog. I just know some Tagalog. Like Maga. I just know some, not a lot. Danri, where you at? Somewhere in the Philippines, Filipino. Maganda. I'm drinking coffee. Coffee. What? Cafe. Cafe. I'm drinking cafe. Let's see. It's comforting. You know that means. Yeah. Frustrating. Yeah, I mean, as far as where I'm from North Carolina, over in the USA. And, you know, it's like I learned Spanish. I learned like a lot of Spanish. So y'all have a lot of the same words as the Spanish, right? I think you have mesa for table. I think that's one of them. I think silla for chair is Spanish, you know. I think that might be the same with you guys. I'm buffering. Ozzy, thank you for telling me, bro. I mean, it's so frustrating as far as signal and reception. I'm going to try to get better signal out here. But Ozzy, the problem is that I'm getting ready to go to immigration. And so I needed to be inside. You know, our Wi-Fi is horrible where I'm living in the province. It's absolutely horrible. Our signal is not the best either. You know, I really highly recommend try to live in a place that is not going to be like that. And honestly, I know a lot of people despise cities for some reason. They're like, oh, I love the whole rule and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I'm going to say, if you're in a city, you don't have to worry about stuff like this. Plus, you got trains there, bro. I love riding the trains over in Manila. Where am I going? I just said it like 3 times. Immigration. I'm going to immigration today. I have to extend my visa for another 2 months. And you know, here's the cool thing, Ozzy. The first year you can do it online. You don't have to go to the office. But after 1 year, you do. So I know this is a little bit tough for me to do this. I did whenever I was doing a live stream last night. I lost my signal because of brownout, because the electricity went out. You don't have to deal with that over in the city. I know people hate the city. They down the city. Oh, you know, I want to live out there with the cows and, you know, live by the beautiful trees and all that kind of stuff. It's awesome, but you're gonna have problem if you're doing like me. You're doing vlogging. You're gonna have some difficulty. But there is some workarounds, you know, if you got the money to do it. Like, what's it called? That Elon did, Ozzy. The thing Elon did, the internet service, you know, having stuff like that. Yeah, that will definitely work out in the province area. But I can't afford that, man. I think it's city is not a good place. Province is much better. See, I told you. See, people always like that, right? They're always like that. But you know, they never really talk about how good city life is. City life is good too. You know? You know, personally, myself, I love both. But trying to vlog and not being able to do Starlink, that's what it is, Starlink. And not being able to do Starlink or have decent internet service, it's tough. It's tough. You know, I try to be here for you guys. I try to be available for you guys. But when I have to go through all these kind of problems to try to be here for you guys, it's freaking tough, bro. Anyway, I'm going to change my shirt, I think, because, yeah, maybe this or... No, I'll leave the red shirt on. I mean, I'm thinking, is it going to get hotter? It probably will get hotter later. So I'll change this shirt. This one's thinner. If you're in the Philippines, I recommend having not too thick. Unless you're on that freaking bus. Get on the bus, bring you a jacket. So I'm not going to change in front of you guys because it feels weird to me. I'm not into strip teasing. Not on YouTube, anyway. So there we go. I guess I lost some viewers because they wanted to see the hot bod. But anyway, let's see. I'm gonna lose signal in here probably. It's gonna get, like Ozzy said, it's gonna start buffering if I go in there with the phone. So, hey Eve, can you bring the book bag? And also that blue bag. And my jacket too. Because it's crazy. The buses out here in the Philippines You ride these buses, they're gonna have air conditioning going like crazy over here, man. So I would wind up freezing on these buses. It would be a lot more convenient if I could just do this online. And since I can't, and since I live in the province, I have to take a 3-hour trip to get to an immigration. Now, if I didn't live in a province and I lived in a city, then I could probably be there in like 30 minutes. Oh, let me correct that. It's not a 3-hour trip. It's 6 hours because you got to go 3 hours to get there and then another 3 hours to get back. Let's see. You live in Quezon province. Yeah, I've been over to Lucena. Yeah, I've been to Lucena, so I'm pretty sure that's in the Quezon province, if I'm correct. Is the cost of living in USA expensive? It's extremely expensive, bro. Yeah. Yep. 70% cheaper to live in the Philippines. So what does that mean? So if you go spend $100 in the US on stuff, it's going to be like you spend $30 on stuff here. The same kind of stuff. You get a haircut here, you spend about $1, maybe $2. You get a haircut in the US, you're going to spend about $20. What's up, Max? How's it going, sir? Who what? Hey, Max. I don't know if you were in the military, but I always see the salute. So, and I'm going to teach the salute, guys. I was in the military. I was over in the U.S. Army. So, when you're in the military, you don't salute like this. You don't salute like this. You don't salute like that. You know, U.S. military, straight like this, elbow. Basically, your arm's going to be, I think they call it parallel, I believe, and then keep it like that. And then this is going to be close to the eyebrow, but you know, almost touching the eyebrow. And then you go like that. That's how you salute U.S. military style. Let's see, I'm back. What's up, Ma? How's it going, Ma? We're getting ready to go to immigration, guys. It's going to be, like I said, 6 hours of travel today. It really blows. I don't know why they can't streamline this and put it on the internet, online. But that's life. Life blows, right? Anyway, let's see what's going on out here. You are snappy. What does snappy mean? Is that a Philippines thing? Oh, sir. Kuya Dave, are you telling me you got an ulcer, bro? Man, I hate, you know, it's funny how I'm out here in the countryside, in the rural area, but I have to be right here by a freaking highway and hear all this crazy noise. Dude, if I'm going to live out in the province area, I'm going to live out in the country, I'm going to be out in a peaceful, nice, quiet place, if I can afford it. Obviously, I can't afford it, because I live here. Let's see, I think they have an online option. They do, hey Dave, I just talked about that. They do for 1 year. Yeah, if you're here for 1 year, and you don't pass the 1 year mark, then you can do online. But you can't do the ACR card online. So when you get to that ACR card, you need to go in. And if you pass being here for 1 year, then you have to go into the office. But yeah, that's what I just said. I was just saying that, like, if you can qualify to go online and do it, it's a lot easier. I've done it before, and it's awesome. How are you, Dave? From Danry. So where you at, Danry? Oh, you're in Quezon. That's right. You're in Quezon Province. Okay. Danry's over in Quezon Province. Good having you, brother. I hope everybody's doing good. How you guys doing, Dave, Danry, Max, and Geraldine, my Geraldine? How you doing? And anybody else watching? Ozzy. I'm not sure if I said Ozzy. How's everybody doing today? Oh, don't forget to double tap the screen, guys, for a like. I appreciate it. So, looks like I'm gonna wind up going to the city again, like to stay, and hopefully survive. Because if I can wind up surviving that, then I'll stay around in the Philippines. Good, just being lazy. Where you at now, brother? Yeah, I heard that, man. I don't blame you for being lazy. Where you, Kuya Dave, where you at now, brother? Oh, it's still in Cebu. Man. I got invited to go to a birthday party down in Cebu this month. Unfortunately, it's just gonna be too much for me, cost-wise and everything. For people that don't know, I've been here for 2.5 years in the Philippines. And when I came, I had plenty of money. I didn't have to worry about money at all. But after you've been somewhere for 2.5 years and you don't get any kind of income for 2.5 years, and you can't just get a job here as a foreigner anywhere you want. And basically, it's like I've been on vacation for 2.5 years in the Philippines. It's been awesome. It's been a wild ride. There's a lot of wonderful, awesome stories that maybe I get to tell you guys. But I sort of have to watch how I do things and say things and how I'm going to approach what I'm going to say and do and all this kind of stuff. But what I was trying to get at is after 2.5 years of having a wonderful time and not having any income, I'm a broke ass. I try not to say too many bad words, but I'm broke. I ain't gonna lie. There's all these vloggers I see that they're like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm doing great, and all this kind of stuff. But I know they're full of it. Because if they're not full of it, they wouldn't be trying to live in a place that's like $300, $400, $500 a month, to rent. They act like they're on top of the world. But now, if you're on top of the world and you're YOLO, you only live once and you're old, you wouldn't be trying to live in a $300 to $400 place, if you're on top of the world. You might go to at least a $500 place. Let's see. Yeah, so a lot of BS over here with these vloggers. And, I recently just did a video talking about one that wanted to lie about me. He's full of crap, this dude. And you'll see like the meanest face on my video. Because I always have like normally a good look, smile or something like that. But yeah, dude was a jerk. Cookie says kindness is the highest level of wisdom. It's definitely a good level. A friend of mine put a quote out, said something more powerful than hate is love, And I was thinking, when he put that quote out, I was thinking, you know what else is more powerful? Sometimes a bathroom smell. is more powerful than hate. You know, you go into a bathroom smell, somebody just got through eating a bunch of pinto beans. That could be pretty powerful too. Anyway, I'm waiting for Eve. She's gonna come out here. We're gonna go to Calapan today. And I'm gonna tell you something else. You wanna know who's tough, you wanna know who's strong and everything, you know, who's Mr. Cool and all that stuff. Somebody that can have an awesome woman like I got and still be broke as crap and don't have to, do this and do that and try to impress and all that kind of crap. And she still stays with the guy. I had somebody mention this before. You know, Jen Family Vlog, what's up? How you doing today? Good to see you, Jen Family Vlog. I hope you're doing awesome. Jen, she also has an awesome channel. If anybody wants to check her out. How you doing today, Jen? But yeah, it's another beautiful day here. Another beautiful day here in the Philippines. I got people from all over the world. Over in England, they're saying, "Oh, it's raining, 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 raining all the time." I got people over in the U.S. said we're freezing. Not over here. I mean, if I still had the money like I used to have, I'd be at the beach. I wouldn't be doing YouTube. I'll tell you that. I would not be doing YouTube. I'd be at the beach. I'd be at the mountains. I'd be at the waterfalls. I'd be scuba diving. Well, I don't know if I'd scuba dive. I've never done scuba diving actually. I don't know how to swim. Can you scuba dive without knowing how to swim? I guess you can. I don't know. Anybody know? Anyway, I'd be having some fun, bro. Wakeboard. I'm trying to remember what wakeboard is. What is wakeboard? Is that like the freaking it's like surfboard, right? Except it's like on a smaller board, I believe. It's like surfing, but on a smaller board. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Because when I grew up in the U.S., I grew up in the city, and I grew up poor. And so my parents couldn't afford to pay for swimming lessons. Apparently. Either they couldn't afford it or they weren't nice enough to do it, one or the other, for me to learn how to swim. And if you're in the country in the U.S., a lot of people, they don't go through swimming lessons. They're just hanging out with friends and they learn how to swim. Board for water. Board for water. Yeah, I think wakeboard, I think it's like a small, hey, see, all these weird noises. But anyway, if I'm going to live out and have a peaceful life in the province, I'm not going to be by a highway, and I'm not going to be around a bunch of all this kind of stuff, But that's just me. Everybody, hey, you like the loud stuff, go for it. Danry says, my great-great-grandfather is a World War II veteran. World War II veteran. Oh, yeah. Both of my grandfathers were World War II veterans. And I'm going to mention that, too, Why do people normally go into that? Back in the old days in the U.S., they used to put a picture of the president in their house. And they used to put an American flag outside the home. This was normal back 100 years ago. Yeah, this was normal 100 years ago. They used to be patriotic. They used to wave the flag and have the picture of the president in the house. Now, totally different, Now I walk into Jollibee and they got the drag queen advertising chicken. Which, or what drag queen, ladyboy, I'm not sure what trans, I'm not sure what the term is exactly. But that's life today. Happy Monday, sup everyone, says Daniel. How's it going, Daniel? But what I was going to say was a lot of people that wind up going in the military, they go in there to basically try to improve their life. You know, you don't see too many rich kids going into the military. You know, it's usually going to be the poor kids that go into the military. But I will say this: 100 years ago, it wasn't all about trying to improve your life. It also was about being patriotic as well, because they allied with USA. You're talking about the Philippines? Yeah, Philippines. You know, we had Filipino soldiers from the Philippines that were in the Vietnam War fighting with USA in, a Vietnam War. Um, I don't think a lot of Americans know this. I don't think they realize how awesome the people in the Philippines is. And I'm not just going to praise Filipinos either. I'm also going to praise Indian people, because even though there's groups over in the U.S. that have a problem with Indian people, but I'm just going to say Indian people work their butts off. They work their butts off to get educated and to try to improve their lives, their families' lives, and all that kind of stuff. They're just motivated, very, very motivated, disciplined. Asian people, they're Asian, as well. In order to go over to US and get an HB1 visa and to get jobs there. And I was a recruiter in the US, as a matter of fact, and I used to talk to a lot of them. And it was tough, bro. It was tough because these people from India always had to try to fight to stay in the country. They had to fight to stay in the country, and because their visa was going to run out. So they would come to me and say, "Hey, Mike, can you help me find work, somewhere?" And I'd do my best, but the problem is government expenses to keep foreign workers are very expensive, and a lot of businesses can't pay the freaking government. I had to emphasize my love for government when I said that. Let's see. Happy Monday. What's up, everyone? How you doing, Daniel? Daniel, where you at, brother? And what you up to? I'm surprised no one's talking. They're just listening to me. Listening to this crazy old man. Look at her. She's looking beautiful today, huh? That's my girlfriend, guys. Stop being jealous. Joke. I'm just kidding, guys. Anyway, gotta make sure I got everything. You want to talk to people? They don't want to. She doesn't want to talk to y'all. Sorry. But here we go. We'll put this up here. Max says hello. Max says hello. Hey, she did wave. I don't know if you saw it. Let's see. Am I in Cebu? No, I'm not in Cebu. Brian Martin, how you doing? Where you at? Where you from? Nope. Brian, I am not in Cebu. I guess I got everything. Do I have everything in here? Danry says, "Sister, how are you?" Can you talk to them for a second? Just hang out with them. I'm gonna go do 1 minute. 1 minute.
Let's follow him.
Come in here, babe. The signal goes bad in here. That's why I had it outside. Just stay out there.
Here too. Hey, faster.
I'll just bring this. St. Louis, Missouri. Awesome, brother. My wife is, I hear you, brother. How do you say it? Sabuana. Sabuana. And Chinita. I know Chinita is the Chinese. You know, Chinita. Yeah. How old is she, Brian? How old are you, Brian, and how old is she? Brian's from St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out to St. Louis, Missouri. What the heck? What kind of noise is that? Obviously, it's that trike there. The trike just like backfired. 64 and 40. Wow, bro. 24 years. Okay, let me ask you. Would you describe her as pretty or normal or hot or beautiful? Beautiful, hot, pretty, or normal? Or maybe all the above. Thank you, Mr. Max. I appreciate the love, brother. Let me give you a heart and a like and a screenshot. I've been trying to do a shout out for everybody that has given the super chats and everything. And I'm trying to go back to my videos and figure out who was everybody on the list. You know, because I'm going to make a list and I'm going to post it. I'm going to post a list of all the people that have given super chat or donation to me. I appreciate the love. Thank you, Max. You're super awesome. You are super awesome. And been together since '05, says Brian. So that's 21 years. Most beautiful woman in the world. Well, that wasn't a choice, but you know, I was wondering if you were going to say hot. But yeah, that's awesome, man. You know, of course, she might be behind him saying, "You better put most beautiful woman in the world." I can tell you this. There was how many? One in particular that I dated, and I gotta say it over here. She had the Chinita eyes, and she was a Chinita girl, and she was absolutely beautiful. There was only one problem with that, and the problem was her heart was not beautiful. Her looks were beautiful, but her heart was not beautiful. So I'm going to point that out, and that's more important is the person more than the looks. Let's see. Eve is beautiful. Thank you, Max. I appreciate that. And here's the great thing about Eve is she is very beautiful, you know, looks, but even more so is her as a person, her heart and her looks. She's not even hearing me right now. Maybe I should go over there and let her hear this. Yeah, I appreciate that, Max. She's very wonderful, and she's amazing. Miss Eve is amazing. So anyway, let me see if we got everything. You ready, babe? All right, so we're gonna start our travel. Yeah, once again, thank you, Max. And there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that have done super chat. I do have a PayPal on my, and I got one of those Bayou coffee things on my channel description. I got the links to it in case anybody wants to help a brother out. I didn't really check and make sure I had all their stupid paperwork. I mean, I think I do. You can check it out. Ay, ay, ay. I'm not a big fan of the word that starts with a G. I should have everything. I should have everything in there. Money. That's a good question. Let me make sure I got the money that we need today. Because today I get to pay immigration 4,000 pesos, which is about $70, 70, $75, somewhere around there. Almost $75 today to let me stay for another 2 months in the Philippines, if they allow it. They might say no. We need to get rid of all you freaking vloggers because there's too many of you crazy vloggers over here. You never know. Jim Girl, what's up, Jim Girl Perez? Hey, where you from? And nice meeting you. And I gotta go get the money. Hold on to this.